Welcome to the Leadership Spark podcast, where we equip you to be the great leader your people deserve. This is Corey, and today we're going to wrap up a focus that we've had over the last few days on this idea of insights and how powerful insights are for us as leaders, and how we need to really fight for putting systems in place that consistently get us information that allow us to gain insights that change the way we think, behave, or the way we make decisions, so that we can go further faster. And so there's this power that is available to us whenever we gain insight. We have these aha moments as leaders, or we orchestrate an aha moment for our team. And so today we're going to wrap it up. We've been spending the last couple of days talking about aspects of personality of the people on your team that you, if you had those insights about them, would make you a better leader of them and would allow you to bring out their best more consistently and in a probably a faster way than if you don't have these insights. And so we've talked about motivation, fear. We've talked about communication, whether it's how someone communicates or how they like to be communicated with. And so the last two that we'll talk about today are conflict and feedback. And so you probably understand this because you've been in enough situations where there was conflict, or you've had conflict with someone and there's just friction and you're missing each other because how you deal with conflict based on your wiring and your personality is vastly different than how the other person deals with conflict. And you're both coming at each other in this conflict, trying to resolve it based on your default, and you're not getting anywhere. And wouldn't it be powerful if you understood about the other person? This is how they perceive and how they manage or deal with conflict. And you could change how you deal with conflict based on that insight to be able to resolve that conflict in a timely manner. Or maybe it's feedback. People on your team don't like to receive feedback the same way that you do, most likely. And they definitely don't like to receive feedback the same in a uniform way across all the people on your team. Or even the way that they would give feedback may be different. So some people may be straight to the point. Just when you start the conversation with me, just start with the feedback. Others, they may not want you to do that. They may want you to be a little softer whenever you give feedback and not as direct. But if you don't ask those questions or somehow get that information about them, then you may end up giving feedback in a way that is detrimental to the outcome that you're trying to have whenever you give feedback in the first place. And so information, insight allows you to adapt the way that you behave whenever you're dealing with conflict or you're giving feedback. That allows you to personalize it and ultimately allows you to drive a more effective, more efficient, more timely outcome in giving or receiving the feedback, or in trying to resolve a conflict that you may have in a timely manner. And so the go and do is this: as you've listened the past few days about insights, hopefully it's at least triggered something in your mind, the way you think about the information that you have access to, or the systems that you want to implement, or maybe the deep dive into information about the people you work with so that you can understand them better. Maybe it's a catalyst for that is motivating you to go and do that. Whatever it is, I encourage you as a leader to take advantage of the power that you can get from insights. There are unintended consequences of not having them and not using them, but there are also things that you can gain if you just have the systems in place and you ask the right questions and you get information that you then spend time looking at, maybe with new eyes, to be able to get the aha moments that allow you to change the way you think, change the way you behave, change the way you make decisions. And if you're doing that consistently, it will make you a better leader. It will make you a more effective leader. You will see that play itself out in the results because you can go further faster with insights. And so your go and do today is to think about the people on your team. Have a conversation with them. How do they like to receive feedback? How do they perceive or deal with conflict whenever they have it? And then gain insight from it that would allow you to change your behavior and how you relate to them the next time you have to give them feedback or receive feedback from them, or the next time you find yourself in a conflict with them. Both of you will appreciate that, and both of you will get to the outcome that you want a lot faster.